November 2008, Barack Obama is elected as the first African American president, a monumental moment in the country's history. For many who celebrated his election victory, it was a dream come true, especially for African Americans and others who lived and protested during the tumultuous years of the Civil Rights Movement. March 1963, blacks in Selma, Alabama were violently attacked by police as they marched to demand the right to register to vote. Images of the incident, known as Bloody Sunday, outraged many around the country. On this day, the future president was only 2 years old, living in a very different America, where segregation was enforced by law in many communities. This day in Selma helped galvanize support for the civil rights movement led by Reverend Martin Luther King, Jr.
I have a dream. My 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character.
In August 1963, 250,000 people watched Reverend King deliver his famous "I Have a Dream" speech. The March on Washington was widely credited with pressuring Congress to pass key civil rights legislation that would outlaw racial discrimination. Over the next 2 years, Congress passed and President Lyndon Johnson signed 2 laws governing civil rights and voting.
Through hard work and sacrifice, each of us can pursue our individual dreams, but still come together as one American family.
43 years later, many believe the 1965 Voting Rights Act paved the way for Mr. Obama and other black politicians. Barbara Arnwine is executive director of the Lawyers Committee for Civil Rights under Law in Washington.
Once that act was passed, it opened the gateways for people of color, especially African Americans, to start bursting down barriers. Barriers to every level of elected office.
76-year-old civil rights leader Roger Wilkins remembers the sacrifices he and many others made in the push for equal rights.
That movement and everybody who put a foot in the road have a hand in this astonishing and wonderful moment that we're about to have. The inauguration of an African American president of the United States.
Barbara Arnwine says Mr. Obama's historic rise to become the nation's first black president will encourage other minorities.
They see a new possibility in politics, and they see a rejuvenation of the concept of democracy, that democracy no longer is, just for one race.
As President-elect Obama prepares to take office, it will be an especially uplifting moment for a generation of Americans who witnessed the struggle for civil rights, and now, some 4 decades later, will see a dream fulfilled. Chris Simkins, VOA News, Washington.